When I arrived, the laughter stopped, just for a beat, long enough to notice. The ballroom shimmered in crystal and arrogance. Gold-trimmed name cards on round white tables. I scanned until I saw mine. Idiot, trash. Handwritten, bold, with a smiling emoji. I stood there too long, frozen. My wife turned around, holding a champagne flute. She was laughing loudly along with her coworkers. And her boss, Madam President herself, leaned in and said, "Guess he found his seat." That's when the click happened in my chest. Not pain, precision. I sat down. I didn't say a word. 10 years. That's how long I stood beside Ella. I supported her through business school. Canceled my promotion to move with her when she landed the job of her dreams. Made coffee every morning while she chased legacy. We were in love, I thought. There were signs. Missed calls, sudden silences when I entered the room. Whispered messages she claimed were just work stress. Once I found a lipstick I didn't recognize. She said it was her colleague's. That was the first time I lied to myself. I didn't press, I didn't ask, because I wanted it to not be true. 2 months before that dinner, I found the texts. Ella had left her laptop unlocked. There they were, messages with her boss, Amanda. Graphic, condescending, mocking me. They called me a good dog, said I had the personality of cold oatmeal. Ella joked I still believed in loyalty. Amanda responded with a photo of her hand on Ella's thigh under a conference table. Everything inside me went quiet. And then, methodical. I became a ghost with a pen. Not just a husband, a strategist. I contacted a lawyer, quietly, specializing in marital assets and workplace ethics. I pulled records of Ella's shared accounts, traced unauthorized withdrawals, vacations billed to her corporate card that coincided with off-site meetings. Then came surveillance. 1 small pinhole camera in the bedroom, 2 in her car, GPS tracker installed. I hired a discreet PI, worth every penny. Emails, photos, dates, coordinates. 1 damning voice recording in the office during a strategy session where Ella laughed about how he still thinks I respect him. I compiled it all into a single file. The dinner was the perfect setup. I RSVP'd, knowing what they'd do. I needed their guard down. I needed witnesses. I needed them cocky. So I wore the tie Ella gave me years ago, her favorite. I smiled politely, clinked glasses, laughed when they did. Even when Amanda said, "A real man would have brought wine, not showed up like it's a garage sale." Even when Ella added, "He's sweet but clueless. That's his thing." I nodded, took it in. Betrayal this sharp cuts through bone. But revenge? That's the scalpel that slices back. Dinner ended. Everyone moved toward the bar. I stayed behind. That's when I approached Amanda. Alone. She looked up, smug. "Leaving so soon, idiot trash?" I smiled calmly. "No, just tying loose ends." She blinked. "Excuse me?" I leaned in. "Effective immediately, I'm terminating the advisory contract between my firm and your company. Conflict of interest, you understand? Sleeping with a married subordinate? Risky." Her face drained. What I pulled out a small black envelope and placed it in her hand. Inside, documentation of your misconduct, fraud, harassment, abuse of power. Copies are already in the inboxes of your HR, your board, and the media. I walked away. She called after me, but I was already heading toward Ella. She was laughing at something her coworker said, still basking in her performance. I stood by her side until she noticed. "What?" she said, half drunk. "You're still here?" I handed her the wedding band. "Not anymore." She stared. "What's this?" "Some dramatic—" "No, just a return." She scoffed. "You're being ridiculous. Can we talk?" "It's all in your inbox, along with divorce papers. Oh, and by the way, your company laptop? Everything on it is public now. Might want to tell your team before the news breaks." Her glass dropped. It didn't shatter, just spun. Then I left. The fallout was delicious. Quiet chaos. Amanda resigned within 72 hours. Internal investigation confirmed everything. Ella was suspended first, then dismissed. Our divorce? Swift. One-sided. I walked away with half her assets, thanks to the infidelity clause. She tried to contest it. My lawyer laughed in her face. Her reputation? Ruined. No offers, no callbacks. Her emails leaked. Her empowered female image imploded. Now she works as a freelance consultant from a second-hand laptop in a one-bedroom apartment she can barely afford. I never responded to her texts. The last one just said, "Please." Do I feel bad? No. See, I loved her, but she loved the game, and I simply learned to play it better. You can mock the quiet man at the table, call him trash, but when he rises, you'd better pray he doesn't have receipts, because silence doesn't mean weakness. Sometimes silence is the sound of sharpening blades.